Hi there, we bought this dresser for my wife. I'm going to show you all the installation steps that go with it and if there's any challenges along the way. As you can see, I already constructed the main box. It was very easy to be able to put together. The instructions were very clear, but I'll go through and highlight a couple things on the construction of this that could be easy to miss in the illustrations here. The illustrations, while they are very clear, they're small and there are a lot of numbers and things going on in the illustration. So sometimes it can be real easy to be able to skip one of the parts. So we're going to go through, highlight that for you to make it real easy for you to be able to assemble this. Couple things to know on the assembly. There are a lot of screws that need to be installed. You can use a hand screwdriver, or if you have an electric screwdriver, that works out really well. Or if you have a impact driver, what I'm going to use, I just have it on the lowest torque setting to make sure that it does not strip any of the screw holes. So if you're going through using any electric tools, just make sure that you go very slow. Otherwise, you could strip out the screw holes. Some of the screws are pretty short. All right, let's go through. I'll show you some of the highlights of putting the box together here and how they relate here on the illustrations. First thing of note here on the instructions are all of the drawer pulls are here, or the tracks that the drawers go on. Those are all installed, and where the screw hole goes, not super clear on here, but once you install it on the cabinet, it makes it much more clear. But then there's also this part here that uses to be able to hold it in one of the clamps that goes on the other side of this piece here. So that is represented here, which then that little clamp is what holds that in place to be able to hold the edges all together on here. There's also some dowels that need to be installed. So just make sure that you're paying attention to where the dowels go. In the illustrations here, it does tell you what parts are needed. So just pay attention to those to make sure that you're getting all the different dowels put together. And then on the tracks for the drawers, you can see here, the screw holes are pre-drilled on the parts here. So just make sure that when you're lining this up, that you're going through identifying the correct number that's associated with it. It is very clear on the instructions. And then you can see here that the third in from the back, or if you go from there, third, that's where the screw goes. And the screw does line up with the pre-drilled hole, as long as you set this one in properly. All of the pre-drilled holes line up all the same with all of the tracks for the drawers on both sides. They are different names depending on the side that you go on, so just make sure you're identifying that, and it's very clear in the instructions what it is. So this one says CR, and then on this side it says CL. All right, I'm going to go through. We're going to get the drawers assembled here, and I will keep you posted as the progress goes along. Here I'm on the instructions to be able to put one of the drawers together. As I'm going through it and seeing the different parts, it can be real easy to miss that this one has a hole on the bottom there for one of the anchors to go into. And it's not really clear on the instructions here on where to position this piece to make sure that that anchor hole goes where it's supposed to go. So looking ahead on the instructions, I see that that anchor hole actually goes forward. It goes away from this part here. I'm going to go through and put these two pieces together, and then this anchor is going to go like this and secured. So that's the future step is where I'm going to be utilize that. So good step. Always look ahead on the instructions too, in case you have any questions about how things fit, or go through and turn it around to make sure that it's getting the proper alignment. All right, we have one of the first drawer assemblies, 90% complete. We have the structure done. I haven't put the drawer slides on it yet. One thing I did notice here on the illustration is that on this step here, all of a sudden it has this little protrusion at the top of the drawer, and I did not see a protrusion on here. So I went through and looked up here at the parts list, and it has you installing the pull handle. for it. So, or the drawer pull. Make sure that's one of those quirks because it doesn't have a very clear illustration of the assembly of it. Two screws back there, but it doesn't show anything on the front here of like putting it into place. So that was just one of the quirks there. I'm going to go through and install that right now, and then we'll be able to put the drawer slides on it. The handles and the screws come in this separate packaging bag. So just as you're going through and putting the different pulls on there, there you go. So you just need 2 of the small screws to be able to install it. Drawer pulls themselves. And because I'm using an electric drill, I'm going very slow. I'm not even tightening it all the way down yet. I just always want to make sure that when you're putting in multiple screws, that you leave yourself a little bit of play in it in case you need to move it around. Luckily, these are very well lined up. Just go through and just gently. All right. That one is set. Now I can go through and put the sides on it. So for this one here, it says that I need to look and see DL. DL is going to go on the left side, and DR is going to go on the right side. That makes it nice. So D probably for drawer, L for left side, R for right side. So that makes it very clear to be able to put that together. Now it's just a matter of finding out which ones go where. All right, there's the DR and there's the DL. Perfect. Put this up on ends so that's a little easier for you. Here, the holes are pre-drilled to be able to install this drawer pull on, and they line up perfectly. So the full length of the track that it goes on lines up with the holes here, and it tells me to use number 7 screws. So we have a number 7 screws right here, and just 2 of them per drawer pull. They don't have any screw holes up here pre-drilled, so we don't have to worry about it there. Just one's on the bottom. All right, that one's installed. Let's rotate this over and do the other side. Just be gentle as you're going through and moving these around, since I'm not using a pad on my floor here, so I'm just being extra gentle so I don't scratch anything up. Don't want your new furniture to get scratched ahead of time. Okay, that one's assembled. I can go through and turn this around. One of the things I did was I installed the corner supports here to be able to maintain the proper structure so it doesn't rock side to side as much. Turn this back around here. And then we have our drawer. Should just go perfectly in there. Look at that. Beautiful. This works out really nice. Has a nice drawer closure to it. Very easy to roll. All right, we're going to do 3 more of these to be able to, or you do it 3 times. So 2 more of this size. And then we have those 2 smaller ones and we'll be done.
And here is the dresser in my closet. I love it. It's a little bit smaller than my other one, but I kind of like that size. And the drawers pull out very nicely. Everything's super simple with it. No, I do not fold my clothes, so everything is just messy in there. I like that these 2 are separated as well, so you get a little bit of that smaller space there. It's just super cool, trendy, lovely, and an awesome dresser. I also like the little pull handles on it. Super simple to use and looks nice.